Blake and Sun make it to Menagerie. Epcot gets a little taste of Star Wars. Emma's wish comes true, and Maul is back. I'm Caitlin, your favorite Michigan Girl, wannabe Jedi, pop culture nerd, resident Disney geek. This is Michigan Girl Pop Culture News, and today is December 11th. Let's get started. First off, let's hit up Ruby. I feel like I go weeks without talking about Ruby simply because, like I keep saying, I watch the episodes when they're posted on YouTube. So, yesterday, the newest episode was posted on YouTube, and this one was all about Blake and Sun, who have at long last arrived at Menagerie. What is Menagerie? Not a zoo. Menagerie is actually the name given to the island that the kingdoms gave to the Faunas as a way to make the Faunas feel like they were equals with everybody else. But, however, there is a downside. Blake points this out to Sun, who is all gung-ho about this island that is like nothing but Faunus, where they can live openly without fear of being persecuted against because of the way they look. But, issues. The island itself is actually mostly desert, and while living, and when Sun goes, well, what's wrong with that? I mean, go move out into the desert, have more space. Yeah, it's not like the deserts of Vacchio, where Sun is from. Blake points out that the deserts on Menagerie are actually home to some very, very, very nasty creatures who would probably like nothing more than to maybe tear apart the Faunus that make it into the deserts. So the poor Faunus are kind of relegated to living in like this little square mileage of land, and there's so many of them that's like, oh, it's like New York on a busy day. And Blake also points out that just because the kingdoms gave them this great island, not so great island, gave them this island, it doesn't make the Faunus feel like they are equals with everybody else. The Faunus are still second-class citizens, and it's very much evident. So there's still some issues going on. But upon arriving to the island, Sun does learn something about Blake that not even Team Ruby knew about. Blake is like Weiss, and I don't mean like Weiss, like, oh my gosh, Weiss is uber rich and lives in a mansion. Blake lives in a mansion, but spoiler alert, Blake's dad is the chieftain of Menagerie. Her family is basically running the island and doing everything they can to protect it from people who would want to hurt it, including the White Fang. Yes, of course, the White Fang are going to have a presence on Menagerie since they're the Faunus rights group, the violent Faunus rights group. This is not the peaceful civil rights protest group. This is violent Faunus. At least that's what Blake thinks. Remember, back at the school, Beacon, where they were, the White Fang were not nice people. The White Fang were the people working with Tortrick and Cinder to rob dust shops, to steal robots from Atlas, to, well, basically destroy everything in the path. And let's not forget, in the season 3 finale, they lured Grim to the school and basically destroyed the entire school. And Pyrrha died. So, Blake's experiences with the White Fang after leaving the White Fang after her boyfriend took over and went psycho bananas is not so good. The White Fang we see in Menagerie, they kind of act like monks. They call each other brother. They're very peaceful and sweet and good-natured and talking. And it's like, really? I fall for that about as often as I fall for the fact that Trump's going to be a good president. I'm sorry. I thought I wasn't going to say anything about that, but I still did. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but still. And it is proven when, again, spoiler alert, as these two brothers of the White Fang are leaving, they stop being so nice and instead go evil, saying they must alert Brother Adam, who they told Blake has no connection to the White Fang on Menagerie, saying, quote, the White Fang on the mainland, like by Beacon, have gone rogue because of Adam. So they told Blake they know nothing about Adam. They're not connected in any way, shape, or form to Adam. Until they're walking away from Blake's house going, we must contact Brother Adam and alert him of this development. I'm going, oh my gosh! Blake is right. So if her dad ends up trusting these guys, which I hope her dad doesn't, because he's actually kind of cool. He is huge, okay? It's like, wow, he could squash me. He's huge. If he ends up trusting them, that might spell bad news for Menagerie, which is supposed to be like the safe haven for Faunus, and maybe if he trusts them, it won't be a safe haven anymore. Anyway, Ruby, a great episode. As always, Ruby is awesome. I can't get enough of this season. I feel like so far, though, while the episodes have been good, they are just setting something up. They feel very much like this is this and this and this, and I'm really hoping at some point Ruby comes back together, that good old team, and they fix everything, and they all become friends again. But then again, I'm the girl that craves nothing but happy endings. So, on from the world of Ruby Twisted Fairy Tales to another world of Twisted Fairy Tales, this time courtesy of the good folks at Disney and ABC Studios. Last Sunday night was the winter finale of Once Upon a Time, and the episode was titled Wish You Were Here. This episode was like, wow, trippy. I really, really wish it was a 2-hour long episode instead of just the hour. It would have been so much better, and I think it would have been a lot more interesting, and they would have had a lot more time to play around with. Anyway, spoilers ahead. Pretty much this entire episode is nothing but spoilers. Anyway, spoilers ahead for Wish You Were Here. Basically, the plot of Wish You Were Here is very simple. The evil queen has hijacked Aladdin, who is now a genie. She then makes a wish not a wish for herself. She instead says, knowing that all wishes come with a price, as does everything in this world, make-believe or real, she instead wishes that Emma Swan's wish would come true. Now, why would the evil queen make a wish whereby Emma Swan's wish would come true? What is Emma's wish? Well, Emma's wish is kind of not good. See, Emma actually confided in Regina that sometimes she wishes she had never been the savior and had never come to Storybrooke. And of course, since Regina and the evil queen were technically one at that point, the evil queen knows this and decides to use it against her. Thereby, Emma gets her wish in never being the savior. So basically what happens is Emma gets magically transported to this alternate world where she never became the savior. Why? Because somehow Snow and David were able to push the evil queen back and banish her. Thereby, Emma was born in safety, never sent to our world, never learned she had magic, and basically lived the life of any other Disney princess, okay? She falls in love with a handsome knight, Neil, who tragically dies, of course, because can't be totally perfect, but she has her son Henry, whom she never gave up for adoption because since she never came to the real world, she never became a criminal and was never forced to give Henry up for adoption. So it was like, it's like Disney making fun of Disney almost. Because at one point, so it's very weird. And then Regina's like, wait, I am part of the evil queen and the evil queen is part of me. So I can control Aladdin's lamp too. So Regina says, give me the lamp, takes the lamp, makes a wish to be where Emma is, and magically gets transported to that same world. And her first look at Emma is Emma in a pink dress with flowers singing. I said this, Emma became a Disney princess. Even I'm going, wow, no. Totally creepy. So while Regina's off trying to figure out a way to get Emma to regain her senses and bring her back to the real world, our 3 intrepid male heroes, Captain Hook, David, and Henry, are boldly fighting back the evil of the evil queen. No, they're freaking out, okay? They're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And they're fighting with each other. And I'm going, really? We have Captain Hook, one of the most feared pirates of the 7 seas, Prince Charming, who is like the blueprint for every bold, daring prince to ever save a princess from a dragon. And we have Henry, who is the author who, if he had the pen still, which I don't think he does, has the power to create stories to make change and is the grandson of Rumpelstiltskin, Snow White, David, and the stepson of the evil queen, Regina, and the son of the savior. So obviously he's supposed to be brave and macho. And no, these brave macho men are freaking out like little girls at a spider. I'm sorry, that was mean. But still, they're freaking out. I'm the one going, oh my gosh, why are you freaking out? You are the guys who are supposed to be out there slaying Blackbeard and dragons and saving girls, and you're the ones freaking out. This is one of the reasons why I like Once Upon a Time. It is because most of the time, it is not the men who are swooping in to save the day. It is the women, okay? That is what makes it so cool, because obviously, as is the case in Wish You Were Here, men can fall to pieces pretty easily, and that definitely happened, because half the time when they weren't freaking out, they were actually yelling at each other. It's like, wait, you should know this, but you should know what Emma's true wish. Well, do you know everything about your wife? It's like, dudes, you're on the same side. You don't fight each other. This is what they want, to divide and conquer you. Yeah, okay, breathe, Caitlin. So while Emma and Regina are in the other world, and the men are freaking out, Belle and Rumple are going through their own issues. Now, I actually thought Rumple did give Belle the potion to make her pregnancy go by faster. He didn't. It was Lena and the Evil Queen, which, rightly, he's angry at. I thought he wanted the son just to be, like, totally mean, obsessive. actually, I should really pay more attention to these episodes, and I've been distracted because it actually sounds like he really just wants the kid to really try to be a family, because he had that at one point with Neil, and then ruined it. And he really wants to try again, and he also wants to protect the kid from his mom, the Black Fairy. So he and Belle are trying to start over and stuff, and then they get the call that Mother Superior, aka the Blue Fairy, has been attacked by the Black Fairy, and the Black Fairy now has their son. And Rumple is trying to calm Belle down, but he's not doing a very good job when he's telling her that the Black Fairy lives in a totally different dimension. So time passes differently, and she could be torturing his kid. And of course, Belle is the mother going, "What is she doing to my baby?" And I'm like, oh boy, this can only end in tears, and it kind of does with that ending. So to wrap it up, Regina does get Emma to get her memories back. Granted, she has to kill the Witch World version of Snow and David to do it. And Henry vows eternal vengeance. But they do it, and they're still stuck in the Witch World at the end of the episode. Why? Because, big spoiler, Robin Hood is back. This also marks the return of the Morpheus. So guess what? The second half of the season, the big bad villain will not be Rumpelstiltskin like I thought it would be. It's gonna be Rumple Jr., aka Morpheus. So yeah, that's where we ended up in Wish You Were Here. So that was the winter finale. Now, here's the bad news for all you Once Upon a Time fans like me who are, well, I'm finally back in Once Upon a Time because I haven't been watching Christmas movies. We have to wait. And I don't mean we have to wait like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, oh, new episodes. No. There will be no new episodes of Once Upon a Time until March. Why? Why give us this delicious, this juicy, this amazing cliffhanger, and then go, oh, by the way, you have to wait till March to see how it ends? I really had to think, man. I mean, in the Star Wars movies, we get that cliffhanger, you know, in Force Awakens, where Rey and Luke meet for the first time, and she holds out the lightsaber to him, and it's just silence, 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 and then it goes black. We don't have to wait years to get the answer to what happens. It's coming out next year. We know there's going to be this big thing, so we only have to wait a year. I can handle that. This is a TV show. Why do I have to wait till March to get that ending that I need? Anyway, Once Upon a Time is on winter break, but we're all going to be freaking out and coming up with new theories about what's going on. Now, the juicy part. What started Michigan Girl Pop Culture News? It's time to head to space and Star Wars. Let's get started with some rumors from episode 8. The big one is people have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, it should be time to get the title of what Star Wars episode 8 will be called. Now, there is a rumor that the title has been leaked by none other than producers from the movie when they went to get trademark for next year's merchandising blitz. According to rumored reports, they asked for a trademark of Star Wars Episode 8, Forces of Destiny. Okay, that's actually a pretty cool title, but I'm hoping that Episode 9 does not have the word Force in it. That'd be kind of weird if we had Force Awakens, Forces of Destiny, if the rumor is true and that is the title of Episode 8, and then the 9th movie has something with the Force in it. Okay, I'm sorry, but they're going to be linked anyway. I don't think you have to link the titles too. But still, the rumor is Star Wars Episode 8 will be titled Forces of Destiny, which kind of does make sense in an epic way. But like I said, it's just really a rumor at this point. Nothing has been approved, and it could be just another case of they're throwing us off. And maybe Forces of Destiny is like a Star Wars game that's going to be released next year around the same time as Episode 8, and will have nothing to do with the movie. But the rumor is that's the title, and like I said, rumor. Also, Daisy Ridley in an interview said, I'm paraphrasing this, when fans learn the lineage of Rey, who her parents really are, they are going to freak. Now, let's remember when Force Awakens came out and everybody was trying to guess who her parents were, the two main rumors were that her parents were going to be Han and Leia and that she was their secret second child, or it was going to be Luke and an as yet unnamed woman. However, J.J. Abrams kind of sort of smashed that theory to smithereens when a few months ago he came out in an interview saying that none of Rey's parents appeared in Episode 8. However, this interview with Daisy Ridley saying that people will freak over Rey's parentage has an oldie, but has another rumor sprouting. This rumor is not a new one. It's not a new fan theory, and it actually has been around since Force Awakens was announced. This fan theory states that Rey is actually in some way, most likely, the granddaughter of Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is my favorite fan theory just because I think it'd be awesome. And when I read it, I totally agreed with it. It makes so much sense to me, and it'd be really awesome because, like I said, since they totally ditched the original expanded universe, calling it Legends, and is coming up with new canon, I really cannot see Obi-Wan just staying on Tatooine for all those years. There has to have been something to draw him off the planet. So, thinking that maybe Obi-Wan finally loosened up a little bit and had a family of his own, I totally love this theory that Rey is related to him. Not his daughter, but his granddaughter. And it'd also be a really cool matchup when you think about it, to have the granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi going up against the grandson of Anakin Skywalker. So that is so cool. I'm actually hoping this one is true, more so than Rey is actually related to the Skywalker family in some way. Rey being a Skywalker, that's kind of anticlimactic and maybe even a little bit expected. Rey being a Kenobi is totally something that would be unexpected and unheard of, particularly when you think about the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi belonged to the old school order of Jedi, where attachments were forbidden, hence why Anakin and Padme's marriage had to be a secret. But I don't think it was that secret of a marriage, because I think a good chunk of the Jedi knew, including Obi-Wan and Yoda. They had to know at some point, right? So, there's that rumor. Anyway, let's jump down south and head to Disney World's Epcot, where on December 5th, they lit up the night with a special Rogue One event, which included an appearance by the guy, I think it's Mads Mikkelsen or something, who plays Jen Erso's father in Rogue One, and he talked about it and stuff. It was awesome, and they had ARC Troopers, oh my gosh, Death Troopers, that was amazing. But the highlight of the night was not just a never-before-seen clip, it was just some clips and stuff. It was also the lighting up of the Death Star. Okay, I don't mean the real Death Star, obviously. They took projections and turned Spaceship Earth into a Death Star. It was awesome. They even included a cool laser effect in the alarms. I saw it. It was awesome. It was cool. Excuse me. Obviously not in Florida. I was here. I saw it, but it was so cool. It really was cool. And again, I think you can put the Death Star in Epcot without too much issues, because even though it's a fictional innovation, it's still an innovation. Anyway, let's not forget that this Friday, for all of us, is the premiere of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. At long last, we're going to get the behind the story of how the Rebels got the plans for the Death Star in the first place. I'm super excited, and last night, I even watched a little bit of the live stream of the red carpet at the world premiere, which included, if you guys have probably heard about this already, an actual life-size X-Wing. That's right, all the way from Pinecraft Studios in England. They flew in an actual X-Wing that was used in the filming of Rogue One. It was awesome, and X-Wings are like my favorite fighters, so I was like freaking out when I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to see that in real life. That would be like a dream come true for me, to see an actual X-Wing. I would so be happy. I'd be like, if I'm going out. It was so cool, and I got to see an interview with Peter Mayhew and Gareth Edwards, and it was so cool because Gareth Edwards at one point walked up to the fans and took a Stormtrooper helmet from one of the fans and put it on his head. Everybody freaked out. It was so cool. So, don't forget, Rogue One is coming out this Friday, but if you're a Trump supporter, you might not be going to Rogue One. As insane as this sounds, Trump supporters are actually talking about boycotting this latest chapter in the Star Wars universe, because apparently producers went in and added a scene that is supposedly blatantly anti-Trump. Now, I personally think the Rogue One movie kind of has a whole anti-Trump message to begin with, because, well, Trump kind of reminds me of the Empire in a weird way. But it seems to me so crazy that you would want to boycott a sci-fi movie simply because that there might be an anti-Trump message in it. Let's not forget that when Frozen came out, conservative groups were telling parents to boycott Frozen because it was brainwashing their kids with liberal ideas, because it's not a prince who saves the day, but a girl. I mean, seriously, okay? I'm kind of a traditionalist in my beliefs, but come on, a girl can save the day just as easily as a guy. However, producers have come forward saying there's no anti-Trump message within Rogue One. Personally, I think they got this idea from the fact that cast and crew members of Rogue One released the rebel symbol with a safety pin through it, which came about after there was an increase in racist attacks and incidences in the United States after Trump became the president-elect. The safety pin comes from Britain, where after BritX, there was also an increase in racist attacks and incidences. The safety pin is meant to show that you stand with minority groups, and I actually think it's a really cool symbol. So to see them do that for Star Wars is really cool, especially since in Star Wars you have an entire galaxy of beings of all shapes, sizes, ages, colors, what have you, especially in the rebellion, and they're all working together to make a dream come true, to make the galaxy a better place. So I really like it, and that is a cool, epic message. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to go see Rogue One, and I'm going to rebel. Come on, I was born to rebel. I'm an American after all. Anyway, let's get to last night, which was also a winter finale of, I know, sad but true, last night was the winter finale of Star Wars Rebels. Luckily, we don't have to wait months. The next episode is scheduled to air January 7th of 2017. But let's talk about last night's episodes, which had a bunch of us freaking out because it marked the return of Darth Maul. Okay, not Darth, just Maul, but still he's back. The episode was entitled Visions and Voices and starts with Ezra going a little bit bonker as Maul somehow gets inside his head, and Ezra starts thinking he's seeing Maul everywhere and there, and even attacks a fellow rebel. Kanan takes Ezra to the Bendu, and they try to talk about this, and Bendu's like, well, don't look behind you, because ta-da! Maul's there at Chopper Base, and he threatens to reveal the location of the base to the Empire if Ezra doesn't go with them. Maul is kind of obsessive at this point in wanting Ezra to be his apprentice, but there's also a hint of underlying longing. I think Maul doesn't want Ezra to be so much his apprentice as he really wants a companion. In fact, Sam Ritwer said in an article that at this point, Maul is just trying to heal the hurt and all the bad things that he thinks has been done to him. And he views Ezra as a chance to not only pass on his knowledge, like, well, anyone would expect to, but also kind of a companion, a replacement, a brother, what have you. Luckily, Ezra still has that strong family unit in the Ghost Crew that are standing by him. And while Ezra agrees, thank God for Daddy Kanan, who gets Sabine to plant a tracker in Ezra's Viscom, so they follow him. And where are Ezra and Maul going? To Dathomir, the home of the Night Sisters. Okay, the home of the late Night Sisters, since the Night Sisters were pretty much all destroyed by Dooku and Grievous during the Clone Wars, and Ventress was the last one, and she too died, so sad but true. So they return to Dathomir, and it turns out Maul has kind of been living there off since pretty much leaving Malachor. In fact, he kind of has built a shrine to his biggest obsession, which is not Ezra. It is destroying Obi-Wan. In fact, the one thing that freaked me out, and again, spoilers, he actually had a picture of Duchess Satine on the wall with, like, the eyes gouged out and, like, that slash across the neck, and I'm going, oh, why? And I was freaking out, and then, of course, there's the Darksaber, the coolest lightsaber ever, next to Ezra's blaster lightsaber combo. I would love the Darksaber so much more if it did not have a black blade. I don't understand why the blade is black, but still, I absolutely am a huge fan of the Darksaber. I think is cool. Anyway, why is Maul taking Ezra? Well, remember Holocrons of Fate? When against the Bendu's advice, Ezra and Maul joined the Sith and Jedi Holocrons to gain knowledge and destroyed them. Well, they got bits and pieces because Ezra actually broke the connection before they found out the whole truth. And because of that, some of what they have puzzle pieces that the other needs locked in their mind. To do that, they have to join minds again, which is why they've come to Dathomir. Maul uses Night Sister magic to create a potion to connect their minds. It works, and they get the answers they need. There's just one issue. The spirits of the Night Sisters demand payment. They want flesh and blood, and they want it from them. Well, Sabine and Kanan come in, not exactly at the opportune moment, since they become the ones who get possessed by the spirits of the Night Sisters. Crying. So, sad but true. And as Maul's like, come on, Ezra, leave them behind. There's no hope for them. Come on. This is where Ezra proves that for all his failings, for all his weaknesses, he is a man who will stand by his friends. And he proves this by refusing to go with Maul and instead taking a chance and entering the Sith Temple, knowing that the Night Sisters could possess him, and manages to get first Sabine out because the Night Sisters can't go too far from the altar, then convincing the Night Sisters possessing Kanan to let him go to possess Ezra, and taking that slim chance to destroy the altar, thereby destroying the spirits, thereby saving his friends. I was freaking out and totally scared. This was like a horror movie come to life. I mean, I read one article before doing this where the writer said that this episode was kind of anticlimactic. Well, it's a TV series. There's going to be a lot of anticlimactic events in a TV series simply because they have to build to something. I think this is building to the season finale where I can't wait to see what happens, especially with the hint at the end, which I will talk about. I, for one, didn't find it anticlimactic. I thought it was really cool, and once again, it's just this chance to see two different sides. You have Ezra and Maul, who kind of have similar backgrounds where they have pretty much lost their family, and whereas Maul has decided to take that rage and, like, obsess over things that happen to him, Ezra has that rage too, but Ezra also has a great support system and who are standing by him even after he used the Sith holocron. Kanan and Hera and all of them are willing to stand by Ezra and help him to become a better person, and I think that's the difference. Ezra is naturally a good person and wants to do what's good. He just has a lot of anger and issues that he has to work through, and he's willing to work through them. Maul, I'm not sure he has the potential to be a good person anymore, because he's not willing. He's hurting, and I kind of feel sorry for the guy, but at the same time, he just is not willing to work through the issues he has. He just keeps getting more grudges and more and more and more, and I think it's going to come back to bite him in the backside. It's already happened a few times. I'm sure it's going to happen again. Anyway, let's get on to the ending. First up, the Darksaber, which is so cool and is actually kind of like a symbol of power and leadership to Mandalorians like Pre Vizsla and the Death Watch. Well, guess who picks it up at the end? Sabine! Sabine has the Darksaber! Okay, it was so cool when she got the jetpack for like a hot minute. I would really like Sabine to get a jetpack again. It's just weird her being a Mandalorian and not having a jetpack. But she has the Darksaber, which is so awesome. And we all know, according to one producer on Rebels Recon last night, Sabine is trying to find a way to bring the two sides of Mandalore back together to work for greater good. This could be, the Darksaber could be that thing that brings them back together because it is a symbol of power and leadership to them. So maybe now that she has a Darksaber, other Mandalorians will listen to her and they might be able to stop the fighting on Mandalore. Maybe. There's always hope. Always hope. So yay, Sabine has a Darksaber, but that's not what had me freaking out, wishing last night's Rebels Visions and Voices was an hour long instead of a half an hour. Because at long last, we saw him. We have seen him. He was in the premiere of Rebels. He was in Spark of Rebellion. We saw him. He was a hollow, but we saw him. But they said his name. They said his name. They said his name again. He said his name in the beginning, but we haven't heard his name at all. He said it. Ezra said it. He said the key to destroying the Sith, and it's the same thing that Maul is after, lies with Obi-Wan Kenobi! Yes! They said it! I'm so excited! Does this mean I think Obi-Wan's going to be on this season of Rebels? I really hope so. Like I said, he is like my all-time favorite Jedi Master. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Qui-Gon Jinn because he's just so awesome and cool and like a rebel before rebellion. But still, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is like I was like freaking out in my room. I actually started to tear up a little. I thought I was going to cry because I am so freaking happy. I mean, it is just like, I was so excited just to hear him say Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm like, oh my God, they have to see him. And then Rebels Recon, they're like, oh, don't plan on Obi-Wan being in the story anytime soon. There's still a lot of stuff they have to go through. And I'm like, no, you won't do this to us. I mean, I'm still smarting over Ahsoka like every single episode. I think I'm going to see Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's not there. So please, you took away my favorite, like, my favorite female character in Ahsoka. Please, if you're not bringing Ahsoka back this season, please bring my favorite Jedi Master back this season. We know he's alive. He's alive now. Kanan knows he's alive, and Kanan has met Obi-Wan. I mean, if you read, I can't see it now. A New Dawn, in the prologue, they talk about how Obi-Wan was teaching a group of Jedi younglings, and Kanan was among them, and it was Kanan who came up with the idea and told it to Obi-Wan that beacon, which could be used to call Jedi back to the temple in times of emergency, could also be used to to warn Jedi away from coming back to keep them safe. So Kanan obviously knows who Obi-Wan is, and obviously they met or talked at some point, at least during that lesson. So, oh my gosh, why wouldn't Kanan be so focused on getting there? There are so very few Jedi left in the galaxy at this point. And obviously it would be awesome if they could connect with Obi-Wan, and I'm just crossing my fingers and praying praying so very hard that Obi-Wan Kenobi is on Rebels this season. If he's not on Rebels this season, they put him on Rebels next season, because I so very much want to see him again. He is like awesome. I love it. His humor, everything about Obi-Wan is just so epically cool. And I don't know, I really like him, and I really hope. So them saying Obi-Wan Kenobi in last night's episode, I was just like, I was gone after that. Like the rest of the night, I was like, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. I honestly was. I was going, oh my gosh, I was so happy. So yeah, Obi-Wan. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to make an appearance in this season of Rebels or in any season coming up? And how do you guys feel about Ezra finally knowing that Obi-Wan Kenobi is real and is alive and all that stuff? How do you guys think this is going to work? And like I said, Visions and Voices was the winter finale, so they are now on break, but Rebels will return January 7th with an hour-long episode entitled Ghosts of Geonosis. The Ghost crew is heading back to Geonosis, and according to the plot, which I have picked up a little bit, the Ghost crew is returning to Geonosis to rescue a stranded rebel. Now, is this the rebels from Rogue One, or is it somebody else? Maybe Bail Organa or Princess Leia? Who knows? All we know is that the rebels are going back to Geonosis. They've already been up in orbit over Geonosis, where they learned that all the bugs, the Geonosians, the creepy bugs, are gone. They're dead. They're wiped out. They're no more. So, is this the episode where they learn the truth about why the bugs were destroyed, and do they help realize that the reason the bugs were destroyed is because they were helping create a super weapon? I can't wait. I'm so excited. And they try to drop hints about what's coming up in the second half of the season, which they kind of did, but apparently there's going to be more episodes that have Clone Wars tied to it. There might be, since Rogue One will have been released, they're going to be able to do more stuff involving the Rebels and leading up to Rogue One, and more Thrawn. We're going to see more. We're going to see Thrawn's ultimate plan at last, and it just sounds like it's going to be a really good season. I'm freaking out, going, I can't wait for January. I want Rebels now, so I'm really excited for the second half of the season. I cannot wait for Star Wars Rebels Season 3 to continue. I'm really hoping that, like I said, in the second half, my hopes is that we do see Obi-Wan Kenobi at some point. If we do see him, I'm thinking we'll see him towards the end of the season, maybe in the season finale. I'm also kind of hoping, because Dave Filoni did announce and did promise that we are going to get closure with Ahsoka, that she is going to be coming back in some way, shape, or form, though most of us are banging on the fact that given all of the hints he's dropped about her, calling her Gandalf and stuff like that she's going to come back alive and well, and probably a knight, just like Kanan, maybe a master. But my hopes going into the second half of the third season is I definitely hope for Obi-Wan and Ahsoka to make appearances. I'm really hoping we learn a little bit more about Sabine's heritage, because we've heard some, but I'm really looking forward to more Sabine. And I'm really looking forward to see how they start moving the rebellion closer to Rogue One and A New Hope. Granted, it's still like 5-6 years away, because Ezra, I think, is at 16, 15 years old, and Luke is about 20 in A New Hope, and Ezra's the same age as Luke and Leia, so I'm thinking that they're going to start moving it closer, but I hope so. I don't know. Tell me what you guys are thinking for the winter finales. Did you guys enjoy the winter finale of Once Upon a Time and Star Wars Rebels? What do you guys think is going to happen in the second half of the seasons? Do you think Morpheus is going to edge out a victory over the crew and storybook? Who do you think is going to pop up in Star Wars Rebels? Let me know in the comment section below. Now on to some housekeeping notes. Since Rebels and Once Upon a Time, which is the two biggest things I have been vlogging about, are going on a winter break, I myself will be taking Michigan Girl PCN on a winter break. I will not be doing a Michigan Girl Pop Culture News segment next week or the week of Christmas. I probably won't be back until January 8th for a regular Michigan Girl Pop Culture News. Barring anything unforeseen that happens in the world of entertainment, sports, what have you, show will be on hiatus. But do not worry, I will still be posting videos. Granted, these videos are not going to be regular updates. I will be posting a Michigan Girl Adventure episode, which I shot Friday night when my dad, my brother, and I went to this really cool event at the local gardens here called Dow Gardens, which is they light pathways with beautiful Christmas lights and luminaries, and it's really gorgeous. So I will be doing a video about that. And that should be up tomorrow or Tuesday. It might be later in the week. It might be next week. Also, with Rogue One coming out this week, I have been making plans. I am going to go see it in theaters, and I will be doing a review. However, my plans, I'm not sure at this point if I'm going to be able to go see it this weekend or next week. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get prices or showtimes or tickets yet for Rogue One here in my local cinema. Also, my mom has been having some health issues, and she has to go in for surgery, and it currently looks like the surgery is going to be next week. Yeah, bummer, week of Christmas. She has her pre-op this Friday, and that's when she's getting the date for her surgery. So I'm really hoping I can go see Rogue One either that next Sunday or maybe next Monday, so that I'm able to get the review up and post it, and I can do it before my mom goes in for surgery, because right now it's looking like her surgery is going to be next Wednesday. But yeah, so right now my Rogue One review is kind of up in the air when it will be, because it's up in the air when I'm going to get a chance to go see it with my brother. But never fear, I will be posting a Rogue One movie review before I come back with Michigan Girl Pop Culture News. So do not worry. But like I said, I will be taking a break. There will be no Michigan Girl Pop Culture News or Michigan Girl Adventure videos posted between December 21st and it looks like January 8th. I'm thinking that's when I will come back. Simply because of the holiday season, and like I said, my mom going in for surgery. So any prayers or good thoughts my mom's way would be really nice, because she's not worried about this, but I am totally freaking out about her going into surgery. So I'm trying to be brave. I'm trying to be calm and brave, just like a Jedi, but I am really seriously nervous about my mom going into surgery. And it's not even like major surgery, but it's my mom, and I'm really close to her, so I really, really, really want everything to be a-okay with my mom. Especially since it kind of seems like this time of year between Thanksgiving and New Year's, it kind of sucks for my family. I was in the emergency room one year, the week of Christmas, because I had a mild allergic reaction to some medication I was on after a somewhat little botched toe surgery because I didn't grow a toenail. My brother has been in the hospital around Christmas. My one of my great aunts passed away last year. Thanksgiving, one of my aunts this year was having health issues, and my mom was having health issues, and my dad has had issues. So it seemed like for the past few years, this time of year has been kind of rough. But I am thinking positive thoughts. I will stay happy, and I will stay Jedi. So I will be back sometime next week with the review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I will also be posting my latest Michigan Girls adventure. And until I see you again for another edition of Michigan Girl Pop Culture News, I hope you guys have a safe and happy holiday season. Please, please, please don't forget to click like or subscribe if you really like my videos and you want more. And also, don't forget to leave a comment or question in that little box below. Especially if you have comments, I want to know your thoughts about the upcoming second halves of Once Upon a Time and Star Wars Rebels. If there's anything you want me to talk about, anything at all, just let me know and I will get to it. Thanks for watching this edition of Michigan Girl Pop Culture News. As always, I am Caitlin, your favorite Michigan Girl, wannabe Jedi, pop culture nerd, and Disney geek. Thanks for watching. Have a safe and happy holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Again, thanks for watching. I will see you all in 2017. And as always, may the Force be with you.